Hello, my dear audiences. We're starting up with a brand new year, 2017. We gotta say, Happy New Year to you. Yes, you are once again welcome to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Bettany, an internationally renowned brand name representing men's suits, such as the overcoat, kind of middle-length overcoat I'm wearing, manufactured by Paul Bettany. And Paul Bettany is a nice thing to wear to men. To Paul, thank you very much for sponsoring, and thank you very much for keep on sponsoring with the new year now, which is the year we want to look ahead. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you start a new year, you always make a New Year resolution.
Yes.
My New Year resolution, to be honest with you, I'm not very happy with the current administration, and I want to be happier with the next one, even though I am not, and I shall be in doubt if I should be in full support of this administration with Donald Trump. Yet, we got a life to live on. Right? We got a life to do, big things, right? So we'd better do this way. That's why we named this show today, Let's Look Ahead. All right? How about that? Okay, as a start. To start the first show of this year, I would like to seriously, I would say, introduce my good friend for years and friend for life, Mr. Ken Hemming, a political commentator, a CPA for life, a writer, and a philosopher, and a member of PCC Foundation.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much. Happy New Year to you. Welcome to the show.
Happy New Year to you and your viewers that are my friends that I love so much. Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Happy New Year.
Right, very good. You know, one day I was in a restaurant. I was picked up by some diners. They say, we recognize you, something like that.
Right.
And you know what they ask? Where's your partner?
Well, we're brothers.
Meaning Ken.
We're brothers. You. That's right.
I said, what partner? Which partner? Says the Caucasian guy with white hair, with lovely eyes.
A big smile.
A big smile. All right,
Yeah.
good, very good. That means that during the past years, we did impress upon our audiences, our good friends. We'll be doing so. We'll keep up the good work. And we'll, of course, regardless, we want to improve.
Yes, we do.
We want to go even better, still better, and better, and better, until we're the best. Right.
That's right.
Now, really and honestly, it is a very chaos during and throughout the past campaign. Luckily, we all follow the rules. It is not the rule of Donald Trump, neither was it the rule for any Democrats. We're talking about the rule of the United States of America under this Constitution. Now that we have a president-elect, we really want to look ahead, right? So with
Yes.
Cam, how do you comment about the title that I pick up, call people to look ahead. Let's look ahead.
Well,
how do you comment on that?
I think the timing and substance of that title is perfect. And Jack, let me just share that you mentioned the Constitution. My tie has the Constitution written on
that's
it.
a Constitution
So this is
tie,
what I do. I
right.
wrap myself around our Constitution, and it motivates me every day to appreciate our country. But yes, this is the time now. Okay, we can stop looking back over the last 8 years. Let's start looking forward to what we hope will happen in the next 4 years. We won't presume anything else. And what we hope for, I think, is that the president and the Congress and the Senate, that they'll work together to attempt to achieve the promises upon which the voters elected President-elect Trump to guide our country. So, and we have to hope that we're not disappointed, whether you supported Hillary or Trump, that we're not disappointed that there's not a coordinated effort to work together and achieve a greater America.
Okay, very good, very good.
In the economy, jobs, jobs, jobs. I'm sure there's viewers here that are unemployed right now, and we want you all to get jobs.
That's a good point. That's a very good take to
point.
start. Let's back up a little bit to the election itself. Okay.
Yes.
Even though we have a constitution to follow, we have rules under a constitution to be abide by, we really want to look back into two issues. Number one issue, we're talking about recount, which make or didn't make sense, I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't make
I would
any
like
sense.
you to give comment to. And secondly, we're talking about the Russian hack.
Right.
The Russian hack, was that true? Was it not true? To what extent? What Obama's administration wanted to do with the remaining days? What will the new administration want to do? Anyway, if it is hurting not Obama, not the Democrat, not any single Republicans. We're talking about hurting the United States. Right. If it do not hurt it, well, if they didn't do it, of course, we're okay. So I need your comment on that one too.
Right.
First, let's talk about the recount.
Yeah. Well, Congresswoman Stein, Ms. Stein was running for president and got about 1% of the votes. And I don't know why she did this. She raised more money to have this, quote, recount undertaken than she did to finance her whole entire campaign. Okay, she $7 million for a recount and about $6 million for the campaign, and we don't know who was sending it in. She said just individuals sending in $10, $20, $30. I don't know. Somebody probably sent in a lot, but the net result of it was pretty much a waste of everybody's time, a waste of a lot of commentators' comments, and Donald Trump actually picked up about 150 votes, which was pretty silly. So that was a waste of time. Now the bigger issue is on the Russian. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Russians, we can wait. We can let Russia wait a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Let's still talk about that. And when you were talking about the motivation of the recount, though, there are two parts, right? Number one, you're talking about where the money comes from, right?
Yes.
This is a very important issue.
No, that's right.
There's an old proverb saying that if you can't find it, follow the money.
Follow the money.
All right.
Right.
I don't care whose motion it was. The motion must have some kind of ground.
Right.
Right. Some kind of push.
Yeah.
Why? Right. Why we do it? And secondly, on the same issue you're talking about, with the consequence as a result, right? Trump and with even more counts. So do you think it's really something to indicate the American system, which is a positive side anyway?
Well, the American system is a positive sign. There was no chance that the overall results would change because the number of votes that Trump had in these key states in excess of Hillary Clinton, it'd be very, 1 in a million that a recount could actually pick up over 70,000 votes in one state or 27,000 votes in another state. It really was an exercise in futility.
But I'm so very sorry to cut you short.
I love it.
But as you said, quote unquote, many times, you want even rather be on the positive side than negative side, right? To look at the positivities, though, does this at least work out one thing that indicates the American system that you want to recount? When it comes to voice of majority, let's do it. And they did it.
Right, and if you do, except like in one state, then one of the courts that judged on it, that she had such few votes that it did not warrant a recount, and he just stopped them. So that was in one of the states.
Okay, anyway.
And the others did the recount, and absolutely nothing happened.
Of course. The idea of the majority was adopted, and it was proven that it is done in the proper process.
Right.
And the the result of the recount is a different story. Even though they found out that Donald Trump ends up with 100 something, 50 something plus minus more votes.
There was a recount back when Gore was running against Bush for president in Florida. In Florida. In fact, that one deserved a recount because there were hanging tabs and all kinds of weird names that were calling irregularities in perhaps some of the ballots. Maybe some got counted twice because there was problems with the voting. That one really deserved.
But it was close, very close.
That was very close.
Very close. And end with the Supreme Court decision that Bush won.
Right.
Other than that, it might be a different story.
So no, that's a glorious example of when a recount is appropriate.
Anyway. And in between recount and the Russian hack, the Russian hack,
alleged.
There is another alleged. There is another one, a big issue, which is the electoral votes.
No issue to me.
The delegates, the electoral votes, right? And that was was not even a close call, was it?
Oh no! Everybody was going. There's no path to 270 for Donald Trump. Well, he ends up at 306. And people had serious health issues during that election night that assumed Clinton would win, and then, maybe 8 o'clock our time, it started looking a little bit differently. And by the end, I went to bed about 1:30 when it was declared that Mr. Trump had won. So that one was, but see, the electoral
between 306 and 230 something. 234.
232 or
33, 34.
Yeah.
That's not a close call.
No, it's not a close call. It was a pretty good.
There's a huge difference.
It was.
There's a huge difference.
It was huge.
Of 70 something, 72 or 73 votes.
It was big.
Right, it was big. Anyway, so, now let's move on to Russia, right?
Yes, sir.
The alleged Russian hacks.
Yes.
Right? So, do you think there was a hack? There was not. There's one thing. Assange this morning, and there is a news about it. You heard about it?
I think so, but please
Go
continue.
ahead. I need your comment.
Well, no, I think he said that the sources were not the Russians, and he's holding steadfast to that. However, we never know. Now, what I would say, Jack, in a general comment, I'm sure they try to get access into our emails anywhere, and I hope and pray we try to do the same to them. What the main thing I've learned from whatever these allegations are about Russians hacking, they didn't hack into voting machines. They hacked into the truth as contained in the emails of Podesta, Clinton, Uma Abedin, and all of these people that were saying things that were contrary to what they were saying in public. It displays a weakness in our cybersecurity that allows us to be so easily accessed by somebody, and we don't know who. President-elect Trump meets with the security people of America, the top people, this week to be debriefed or briefed on what they think they have found.
All right.
But they're saying, like some of these people are saying, well, yes, the emails, no one's denied that the emails were not legitimate emails, and that what they said in there is what they said. But they say, we don't think the Americans should have known the truth. We should know the truth.
Either way, it needs to be proven true.
Yeah, it does.
And evidence has not found out yet that they really did it.
Right now, if they did, I'm sure they tried, and I'm sure every day we have people trying to spy on our countries like Russia and different countries that we have.
Of course.
But in this case, we lost.
Everybody has a secret service.
Right.
Everybody has intelligence or their reconnaissance system.
Right.
Anyway. And we shall pause a little bit, and we'll continue when we come back. Today with me is my good friend Ken Hamming, friend for life, and I trust him himself as a friend more than whatever he takes.
Thank you, Jack.
Anyway,
it's my honor to
so
be here.
Let's take a little break. When we come back, we'll continue from the Russian point to all the way into the next 4 years to see what happens. Well, shall happen. So stay with us, please. Hello, my dear folks. Welcome back to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Botanli, an internationally renowned brand name for men's suit that represents culture, tradition, fashion, everything, even technology. Speaking of technology, they use the nanotech technology, which makes these water resistant and make the material stretchable. And anyway, lots of good points. So later on another day when we talk about the product, we'll say more. All right, good. Paul, thank you very much. And we come back to the show. We were at the point talking about the Russian hack to our computer system for the purpose of destroy the election. And with my friend Ken Hamming, we are looking into it. And we share our findings or even our thoughts or speculations, if possible, and could be that way, please, with our audience to see what audiences have in them. And in the meantime, you may write your opinion to me, send it to jack@edimedia.com. And we'll get back to you. We'll probably, if it is worth enough, we'll bring you, quote unquote, your comment, right? Good. And later we will start a hotline in the show. We will put a system here. We'll pick up the call. You want to go ahead call, and we talk with it. We even talk here online, all right, on air. So, Ken, back to the question.
Yeah.
Okay, number one, 1, 2, 3, let's do one by one, okay? Do you think Russian did it?
Oh, I'm sure they do something to learn more about us every day in every way possible. So they were actively seeking knowledge and information.
Were they successful?
I don't know.
Or could they be successful?
They could be successful. Obviously, when Hillary Clinton had a server in her bathroom, which was not according to the propriety of American standards for security, it's easy to hack into. Yeah, anybody could hack into that.
Okay.
But now did they try to get into the Republican deal also? But maybe the security was better. We don't know. I would think the Russians would have wanted Hillary Clinton to be president more than Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was going to ask the next question.
Yeah.
If Russian does really have the choice,
right? If they want a choice,
they would rather choose. You think choose Donald Trump?
I think Hillary Clinton, number one, Hillary Clinton, through her foundation and activities with Russia, sold 20% of our nuclear, chemical to Russia, which is an integral part of atomic and nuclear bombs.
All right.
And that's so. I think that they could as they controlled. I think Obama. And Obama did not ever stand up.
They would rather prefer Hillary.
Absolutely, should be easier to get what they want from, because Donald Trump, I think, has a stronger backbone.
Okay, and then your second point is saying that by logic, if you really want to go, go by logic, they would have chosen Hillary rather than
I would
Donald.
think so. I really would. I'd be shocked otherwise.
And then we hear the swearing of the Obama administration that they will go into it.
Yeah.
Number one, are they going into it? Or number two, do they have enough time left over to go into it?
Well, whether you're Republican or Democrat, we should try to find out what happened.
All right.
Yeah, because
point.
it's security.
Good point.
It's
about United States, right?
But,
so speaking of that, though, do you think the Trump administration would keep on the work?
Yes, to find out what the reality, yes.
All right.
I absolutely
they have
do.
common ground there.
Yes, we all Americans have common ground.
Okay, luckily we Americans are happy at this moment. We found out that neither the outgoing administration nor the incoming administration, none of them is not taking it seriously.
Yeah, right. And then now President Obama has expelled 35 Russian diplomats that he thinks are spies or whatever, and probably some of them are, and we've got some in every country in the world too. But in Russia, rather than react, they just ignored it, and they're waiting until Mr. Trump is president to work through whatever reality is with him.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big slam in the face of Obama. We'll just ignore him.
Of course, to the common sense, it's never a news. Say anybody does any kind of a spying
It's never
on
news,
anybody, and the news. Well, I mean the reconnaissance system,
Right,
information system, whatever. Every country does the same
Spying
thing.
is as popular as
Never
basketball
knew,
and football.
right?
Yeah.
But to really have a source coming into our election system,
Right.
to at least quote unquote allegedly mislead the election.
No, they
that's
did,
really
yeah.
something serious.
Well, but they
that's
didn't
really
get.
go
They
ahead.
didn't get in the election system. They got in emails of individuals in the Democratic National
And of course,
Committee.
with the media helping though, it's kind of a blown up.
And the whole, the media, of course, is supporting Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is, what did they discover? They discovered the truth of what these people say. So why shouldn't the American people know the truth? And I'd want the truth if Republicans were saying ridiculous things too. I'd want everybody to know, because and we have learned that some of the Republican elitists, they're just so stubbornly against President-elect Trump, and because they're all trying. There is such corruption in Washington, D.C. All of the zip codes back there are the highest income zip codes in America, and they're politicians working for us. That's not the way it's intended to be.
Ken, to share with you my thought, and I'm worried a lot, right? It is a system, it is a land of freedom, a land of a dream that we all come here for.
Yes.
Right? Now when we end up seeing things like, say, like the email issues, like any other issues, you really feel kind of slam on the face.
You do feel misled by our politicians.
And the second thing is that the Democratic Party tried so hard to fight back with the allegation about the email stuff. And the Republicans, Donald Trump side, slammed it so hard, fighting back over the issue. They're kind of going back and forth, until even to these days, right? However, there's nobody giving any actual evidence.
Not yet, right.
Of what it is
Proof.
said
Right.
on the email.
Right.
What content does the email?
Oh, the emails were published. I mean,
No.
I'm sorry.
I mean, why behind the email?
Oh yeah, right. Why? Right. Yeah.
Why would they do that? I would bet with you or my audience, any of my audiences, to Hillary Clinton, from a senator to all the way to
Candidate.
Secretary of State,
Yeah.
and then a candidate of presidency.
Right.
She should know, like even my son should know, that when you are eating, you're not talking.
Right.
Like basic rules.
That's right.
And the rules are so basic that
Yeah.
even the baby will know that you are not talking when you're eating. All right. This, to keep the national secrecy within the national secrecy system, is almost as basic as my son talking while chewing.
And with the social,
Now,
yeah,
why would she do so? Was there something she had to?
I think her attitude was that she's above the law.
Not attitude. There must be
belief.
something behind. There must be something behind. There must be something. You wait. That's the part, exact part I'm betting.
Yeah.
Right. Behind the common sense, there must be something, emotion behind, that makes her or people in her group do so, knowingly this is against the protocols of a national secrecy.
Right. Well, I think some of the emotions, Jack, which you could well disagree with, are arrogance, which is whether whoever you are, arrogance. I don't like arrogant people, and also ideology. So blinded by their ideology of ultra liberal.
That's still on the surface. I still recommend that
Okay.
you go deeper. You pull up
I
this
hope we
layer.
do.
Pull up this layer. Go in a more profound way. You will find something more. I trust you will,
Well,
and the
I agree.
public will too.
And I think that it gets right down to the character of the individual, whoever we're talking about.
I don't know.
The
Anyway.
character, if you have a character that is just like my book is all about how to live life, okay?
My only handle is logic.
Yeah.
My logic is that a person as herself should know the very basic. What the basic?
Yeah.
This is a very basic. It's almost like when you're talking, you're not. When you're chewing, you're not talking.
Well, here's the very basic rule in our social media cyber world nowadays. There is no privacy. Do not assume privacy. There is no privacy. Okay, you close the door when you go to the bathroom. You're out.
Still, you have a system. Still, you have a system. Still, you have a system to keep secrecy at secrecy, and yet this is the rule. This has been the rule, which Hillary Clinton might be the first one, if there is only one
that was
to
so
be aware
careless.
of that she herself.
She was very careless.
Anyway, I'm not giving any comment of mine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that when you think hard, you will find out there's a logic that crashed here. Right. Okay, my dear audience, let's take a very short moment out. When we come back, we'll continue looking ahead, see what's going to happen the coming year, this year, and the coming 4 years. I mean, during the term, unless he is impeached. I don't know.
You need a majority to impeach.
Right, good.
Not going to happen.
We'll be right back. Hello, my dear audiences. Welcome back to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Battanelli, an Italian suit that represents culture, fashion, and everything, and the tradition, of course. Now, so thank you, Paul. Let's concentrate on the issue today. With me, my good friend Ken Hamming, a philosopher, first of all, and political commentator, of course, and he is a member of the PCC Foundation. Oh, by the way, next year, gave me some tickets for the Rose Parade.
Right, it starts right in front of my house.
Okay, very good.
I promise.
Very good, all right. Okay, we're talking about in looking into the future. We drag along a little bit with the election, with the electoral votes, with the Russian hacks, so on and so forth. Now we're at the point. The point is so clear that what happened had happened already,
Right.
good or bad.
Right,
Anyway.
the last 8 years' history.
Okay, next year's, 2016 is becoming history already. It's behind us forever. It will never come back, right? What we do have in front of our eye is a brand new year of 2017, and we shall be with a new president, Mr. Donald Trump, who is going to be swearing in the inauguration on the 20th of January this month. You're looking ahead about less than 3 weeks. Right, good. So with Ken, I want to encourage my audiences to look ahead. That's why we named the show, Let's Look Ahead. Right?
We're looking ahead right now.
What shall we be expecting? What are we looking ahead for?
Well, number one, we're expecting, hoping, and praying for lower tax rates.
Lower tax rate. I like that.
Pretty big. Okay.
I like that.
I mean, this is real big. My main career was a certified public accountant, so I know the Internal Revenue Code and that. But that's there's so much pent-up enthusiasm. Obviously, the stock market's gone up about 2,000 points since President-elect Trump was elected. And it's real exciting in corporate and individual. Now, I pretty much care about individuals, maybe more than the corporations, although corporations are made up of individuals, okay, without question. But if people have a little more money, for example, a food chain stock prices are perceived to probably have a real good year, because if people have 3% more, 10% more money to spend
because of a tax
right, that they think people will be going to McDonald's and to Starbucks and that more. And those are pretty recommended stocks right now, actually.
In other words, what you're saying is that with the money that is saved due to the possible tax cut,
right,
people can spend more.
Right.
By more people spending,
Yeah.
more dollars into the market,
Yeah.
be it a Macy's, be it a McDonald's, be it whatever, or Nordstrom stores, whatever, it boosts up the economy.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
And I want to remind our people that you know, you make $1, you pay taxes on, you know, from your W-2, you pay your taxes. Then if you invest in some stocks in after-tax dollars, because you already paid your taxes, and then the stock goes up and you sell it at a profit, then you've got a capital gain tax again. So you've got another tax. And then if you keep accumulating some money and you die, you've got an estate tax. So it's a lose-lose situation if you really. So I mean, I recommend give more of it to your kids sooner.
You're taxed twice, 3 times,
3 times at least.
Times,
yeah,
right.
Okay. It's just on and on. It's on and on, and so and we do have.
To what extent shall we expect a tax cut?
Well,
I want you to put it into dollar terms and just a range, I mean, just in kind of rough range.
Well, the corporate rate could go from around 35 to 39 to somewhere between 15 and 22%. Okay.
Going down?
Yeah, going down to that. Now that's huge, because they're figuring it might be on large corporations.
15 to 20?
It might to about 15 to 22%. Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, likes 20. Trump likes 15, and so it'll end up being negotiated. Okay, but then in the financial analysts are saying that could make maybe 11% increase in earnings for corporations. Now that's big, because people then, if earnings go up, people invest based on what they call a price-earnings ratio. A PE ratio, and if the PE ratios go up 10% right across the board, our stock market is going to go blow by 20,000 in the foreseeable future.
How about personal income?
Personal income is going to, you know, the people I care about, everybody, I guess, but the middle class a lot. Okay, obviously I care about abject poverty. That I care about, but this country is a generous country, and we do try to, I like to take care of people on a voluntary basis rather than dictated by the government myself. But you know, abject poverty, if people want help, nobody needs to starve in America. Nobody needs to sleep outside in the snow. If you seek help, we are there. The people are here for you. But the middle class has gone, I don't know, 10, 15 years where their purchasing power hasn't increased at all. So maybe you were making $25,000 and now you're making $42,000, but your purchasing power with inflation in the cost of things hasn't gone up at all. So they don't live a better life.
Correct me if wrong. There is always understanding on my side saying that, okay, anyway, as long as you're not making on $250,000 per year, you never have to worry about the tax rise or going down whatsoever, because you are within range, protected. Am I right or am I wrong saying that?
Neither. I mean, like, I've worked hard for a long time. I'll still bend over and pick up a dime. Really, just each little bit of money that, if families now have kids, the cost of education is outrageous, okay? And I don't think it's necessarily worth it. 4-year institutions are not for everybody. We need more craftsmen. We need people that can work with their hands, work with their mind. And that I support with my entire heart. But the middle class, they need, because it's shrinking. We're not growing the middle class, and that's the foundation of America. Every place is going to have some. Cuba's got some rich
talking
people.
About the middle class.
And so the middle class has, I won't say suffered, but they have just been flatlined for quite a long time now. You could argue from 10 to 20 years, a long time. After Reagan, the middle class really was
okay. Another word, with a tax cut that you were saying we're expecting with the Donald administration, are we benefiting, I mean, as middle class from?
Yes, absolutely. More so than...
To what extent? How?
lower tax rates instead of maybe
lower income
like
tax
right
rate?
now. I mean, I pay at a 35% rate, and it can get down to 28 or 25.
You're a single.
Yes.
You're all right. So you're paying 35.
Yeah, because I still make some money. You know.
You still make some money.
Yeah.
All right. So you're expecting something down.
Yes.
Or some rate cut, right?
Because there's 10 tax rates right now. I can't
Are
name
you
them
above
all.
the 250,000 or are you below?
I used to be, but I'm not anymore.
No, I know, but
Right.
you're not.
I'm
You're
not now, right.
In other words, even though you're not over 250,
Right. I expect the benefit.
You're still expecting benefit.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good news from a CPA. So, and I would take your comment as legit because it's your cup of tea.
And,
right?
and it's what we need.
Okay, not only business
Yeah.
to expect a tax cut, individuals with earnings of less than 250,000 could still expect something, including me, myself.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Good, that's good. That's something
It's
good.
good.
Okay, what else to expect?
Well, okay. The next hot topic, in my opinion, is immigration. I do believe in that we're a land of laws, and I think laws should be obeyed. And I don't support entering our country with your first act of entering as an illegal act.
Okay.
So I think there will be a wall, and I think the wall, as well as being physical, it'll be more symbolic. It'll be very symbolic. It will work physically, but it'll be symbolic. And then I do think that Trump will really try to get rid fast of the people that have committed felonies and are running around our country.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think because they kill people. I mean, and they hurt people.
Okay.
It's
Ken,
scary. Yeah.
Let's be honest,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I used to go against the wall a lot.
Yes, sir.
Now that I just reshape myself to what is supposed to happen, let it happen, to shrink to the very bottom. The very bottom to me is that when you talk about immigration problems, you are talking about two sides. One side, number one, you're talking about to stop the entry from now till
true.
the future, towards the future.
Right. Stop the illegal.
That's how
coming in.
you do can stop it.
Right.
That's your job.
Right. That's
Right?
the job.
But
of the
you
guy.
want to stop it.
Yes.
That I agree.
Yeah.
We need to stop it. We got enough trouble.
We do.
problem. Now, and issue number one, the side number two is that we have 11 or 12 million accumulated here already.
Right.
Already. What are you going to do? What is the Donald administration going to do to handle that kind of problem? And once again, in handling that problem, you're talking about the regular people like you and I, except they do not have a document. And you're talking about criminals, the felons, right? And there are two different groups.
Right.
Okay, now in your eye, what do you think that Donald Trump will do to side number one and side number two?
Well, I think he's going to attack aggressively the flow of people coming to the country. I think he'll attack aggressively getting the criminals out of here. And then there's some states and countries that won't even take them back because nobody wants them because they're very bad.
He'll punish
He's got to
them.
fix
He'll
something,
punish them,
just
yeah.
get them out. You know, somehow get them out. And three, if you come here illegally, I don't think you should be here. And so I don't think you can get rid of 11 million people, but I do think you can deny them the opportunity of ever becoming a citizen and voting for however they want to vote. The main thing is people that come in here illegally, and then I don't believe in really, I don't really like welfare for people that have come here illegally. If they want to earn a living, that's fine, but I don't personally, now this, people can say, oh, I'm a nasty person, but I'm not, I'm a very loving person. I don't want my taxes to go to support illegal activities. And I just don't like that. For example, and I'm totally against sanctuary cities.
Okay,
I'm ashamed
understand.
of Pasadena.
This is the area, this is the issue that you and I
disagree on a lot.
Disagree a lot, okay?
Right.
My take is that it is 100% to stop future comings.
Right.
The future,
illegally.
The future influx, illegally, the word influx describes the illegality, right?
Well,
okay, now we're talking about the existing. To the existing, I have different takes. Suppose they're not illegal documents. So suppose they are illegal dogs. So suppose there are stray cats. Do we have shelters for dogs and cats? Do we feed them? Do we cure them if they're sick? We do. Come on.
Well, do whatever you want.
Yeah,
think
sure.
however you want.
Why you do
you
to illegal people, and then when you are taking care of your illegal street dogs, all right?
Well,
and street cats.
I do think there's a difference
down to the very bottom, right?
Illegal human activity.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
we're talking about humanitarian thoughts.
I'm a humanitarian.
Of course.
So that if you want to let
you are Rotary.
50,000,
You're a Rotary. I know.
Right.
Without a question, you are humanitarian.
If you want to let in 50,000 Syrians,
I too
completely
am a humanitarian. I'm thinking about these group of people as the most vulnerable themselves, provided they are not illegal. They are not criminals.
Well,
they just obey, they work, they eat, they sleep, they go home, something like that.
No, a lot of them don't work, Jack, and they're on welfare.
Okay.
I don't want to.
When
I don't want to pay for their welfare.
When they are on welfare, just to consider as if they were stray dogs. So do you shelter them?
I don't consider people
now,
to be
do you
dogs.
support a pet shelter, animal shelter? Do you support that?
Well, like the
on the street you see signs already.
Those shelters
everywhere.
They exist because of the generosity of contributions from individual people. That's what does it. The government doesn't. The government doesn't have
Why
shelters
can't
for dogs.
we do the same thing? We can do the same thing. If you stretch the ideology to cover all, we cover all.
That's no problem.
We have 300 million people.
Then if you want
there are lots of philanthropic minds there.
Okay,
so.
but that's not the government. If
individuals... Forget the government. Forget the government at this moment.
I'd like to forget
because you guys want the government to be small, right?
I want it small.
Okay, it's getting smaller and smaller
not
to
yet.
a point when they do not function at all. Still, there are 300 million Americans who love, right? Okay, now, when they extend their loving heart to animals, they ought to do to people. How about street dogs?
Well, they do. Where do you think all of these homeless shelters come from?
Cats,
they come from.
You have street dogs, you have street men and women.
No, but there's all of these organizations, Jack, that feed homeless people every day.
Anyway, we can argue for a whole day for this, right?
But
let the difference remain, shall we?
We're going to find out because we can't make it happen.
Okay, very good.
But they can.
Okay, my dear audience, today with my good friend, Ken Hamming, we argue all the time, and never mind. Let's wrap up this segment. When we come back, we'll keep on looking into the future, at least for the 4 years, see what's going to be in store for us. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, dear folks. Welcome back to the show. You, ladies and gentlemen, you deserve the best. Okay, we want to let you know, we at G&E TV, at East West Show, me and my crew, would want to make sure that you get the best of service in the brand new year. And we'll try even harder to provide all the information you needed. And we'll borrow all the wonderful brains among my friends.
Right.
To here into the studio to share with you on issues that you care about.
I have the worst brain of all your friends.
All right, sure. Even after argument, you feel more about that, right?
I feel happy.
Even more, okay. Yes, you guys welcome back to the East West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Batanley, an internationally renowned brand name that represents men's shoes for culture, for tradition, for lifestyle, even for workmanship. Oh, speaking of the workmanship, though, I check about the inside hand stitches, and I even measured with a little ruler.
Yeah.
To my surprise,
consistent.
It was so consistent, almost like a machine made.
How it should be.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure. Yes, my dear audience, we go back to the discussion. We're talking about what are in stores for the Americans, right? We talk about expectation for tax cut. we're talking about expectation of having some job done, something done with the immigration issue, even though at the land of that issue, we did not agree to each other. And number three, what shall we expect within the next 4 years?
Well, I think maybe the most important thing of all, Jack, is the selection of Supreme Court justices.
Ah, yeah.
Okay,
Because, you name it.
Because, like, right now we have a Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg who is not committed to the Constitution and is an activist. And
I'm not sure about that.
Well, she is. She's said so. But anyway, that's fine. I don't have respect for me because they want, when you have activists that are on the Supreme Court that want to interpret the Constitution as they think America should be, rather than as our founding fathers designed it to be, that's very troubling for me, and that would make us just another ordinary country, and that would be bad. So this blessing of his election is it's a blessing in disguise. There's 2 or 3 that are over 80, I think, on the Supreme Court. So there's a lot of elderly people, and so somebody might be unable to perform or might pass away, and then Mr. Trump will make a nomination very soon. And there's also a lot of intrigue about when the Congress recesses right before the inauguration. There might be like a 15-second period that Obama could just assign somebody or nominate or appoint someone to the Supreme Court that we think would not work. But there's nothing that would surprise me that they might try.
Well, all right. Thank you for your comment on that. I don't think anything
There's
should happen.
There's a lot of discussion on
anything should happen before the inauguration because no miracles to talk about. You have to go through procedures.
Right.
There are lots of procedures, lots of confirmation, reconfirmation, questions to be asked, like your debate, you at your school, like your debate, something like that, right? At least it's going to be like that. So I'm not saying that I'm in support of Donald Trump on that. I'm not in support for any future nominees.
But I think you're supporting the Constitution.
I'm supporting the constitutional idea.
Right, thank you.
Right. The idea is that, okay, to give you an example, back then when the same-sex marriage thing were pending, I was very vocal. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
And both you and I, right?
Yes, we agreed.
And we, altogether, all of a sudden, shut ourselves off due to the rules of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, we just lost our power.
That itself indicates how important Supreme Court decision is.
Very important.
It could shut down the whole United States because we all follow the rules. The rules being that we follow Constitution.
Right. But see, in that case, actually, the whole subject of same-sex marriage isn't really in the Constitution.
You put Constitution into practice. In order to do that, you have to go through a translation.
Yes, an expansion of the interpretation.
Interpretation or translation, right? Okay, who does it? The Supreme Court does it.
Right.
But now that you really need some members there to make sure they, number one, understands Constitution the right way, in the constitutional way. Number two, to lead the country.
See,
who to shut off, who not shut off.
I've talked to so many people, including some that we've talked on your show. Well, the Constitution's 200 years old. It needs to be changed. It doesn't need to be changed. This is why we've been a unique.
We have done 27 times.
Then you have a different country.
We have done different time, 27 times at least.
Those are just amendments, Yeah,
amendment, that's why I'm saying.
But if you change the Constitution, you change the country, America dies. And I don't want that to happen because we have such. I can't even comprehend the brilliance between the balance of power in the judicial and executive and congressional and.
One thing more that I support the nomination of judges of the justice as soon as possible is that this country has been on the left for too long. And by mathematics, it is a turn to get back, even
That's
by
right.
mathematics.
Right.
So,
balance. Right.
yeah,
balance. Teeter-totter's got
the whole thing is
yeah.
teeter-totter, right? So
the other thing regarding judges, not Supreme, but there's 100 federal vacancies that Trump will be able to appoint people to, and that will have even a more huge impact on interpretation of laws in the Court of Appeals that are around the country, including the Ninth Circuit in Pasadena. That there's never been this many empty federal judges that need to be filled.
To me, Cam, yeah. There are issues or decisions or rules that you may say, yes, I do agree, no, I don't agree, yeah. Right? On top of that, you're talking about something that makes you feel disgust, right? That make you feel kind of you lose your confidence totally, all right? For that, I give the example of the same-sex, of course, same-sex marriage legalization. Of course, once again, to my audiences and to everybody and to the public, I want to declare that whatever I say represents me, myself, my personal opinion, right? It doesn't do anything represent the organization, this show, neither to anybody. We are totally unrelated with that. We are talking about myself, how I feel. I feel disgusted. I feel ashamed. I was last time in China doing a little dinner party, and I was asked.
Yeah. And
they say, yeah, I heard that in the United States, you guys can get married, something like that, two guys.
Yeah.
They kind of teasing me.
Yeah.
I felt a slam in the face right away.
Yeah.
I feel as a man, I'm totally kind of overturned, something like that, right? So, and I'm no longer a man already.
Guilt by association.
Yeah, sure. So for that, I even look forward more something to happen to bring it back. After all, you're talking about this, the pendulum, right?
Right,
so,
the pendulum,
now, okay. It has to go back now anyway.
It's really
so I don't know.
I
don't know how my audience will feel, but I feel that way. Anything else to do it in a squeeze way?
I think one of the greatest impacts of a new president that is very committed to
Job.
That's exactly. You took the 4 words out of my job. That's
job.
So job. That's everything. Because there's people don't have jobs. Now some don't want to work. Some people are lazy. I don't want to support them. Okay, get off your lazy horse and get to work. Anybody can dig a ditch and do the best unless you're handicapped, of course. But job, and this is going to be exciting. It's because the whole impact.
Where are the jobs? That is a question.
Well, it's funny because I was looking at something on the internet that was the 10 best cities that were affordable cities to live in America, like Cleveland and Detroit and that. And every one of their discussions on the city showed how many jobs there were available, like from 11,000 to 42,000 that are open jobs. So there are a lot of jobs there. And number one is
already there or to be created?
No, already there. No, already there. There's a lot of jobs in America that don't get filled. Number one, people have a hard time finding what's available. Maybe two, their skill set doesn't match a job. But there are jobs. If we've got a low 5% quote unemployment rate right now, but there's hundreds of thousands or millions that aren't looking. And when you're not looking, you're not included in unemployment.
Stop right there.
Yes, sir.
Do you realize the other side of the problem, that in order to get that job, you need to have to live there. You need to find yourself a roof. Am I right?
That's right.
So
and these are all cities
they're totally
with
related to
rent or housing market.
To housing market, stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, now, how are they related? And do you think the next administration will do something, please?
Well, the next administration can't change the economy of Cleveland and this dramatically by itself. But For example, I mean, LA is very expensive, Chicago's expensive, New York's expensive.
LA
but
is almost a second to New York.
Yeah, but these a lot of these wonderful cities, wonderful, particularly in the South, but wonderful in Middle America, in Ohio, and that they're smaller cities with jobs available that are pleasant places to live. I don't want to live in the snow, but they're pleasant places to live.
People don't want to go.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people don't want to go. Yeah, but sometimes if
number
you've got
one,
a family,
they might be lazy.
You gotta, yeah, they can be lazy.
Number one, number two, they might be what is that? Well, the house.
Well, then a lot of it has to do, in my opinion, with kind of the breakdown of the family and the guidance of quality parents that really are educating their children to be self-sufficient and feel the pride of taking care of yourself. Okay. I have great pride of taking care of myself.
All right, good.
Great pride.
All right, we're over time, my dear audience. I really wish there were 70 or 80 minutes in an hour.
Yeah, we do.
We try to squeeze as much information in it as possible. With you, my audiences, we together keep our hands crossed, finger crossed, for a better year of 2017. And we thank you for watching. To my dear friend Ken, thank you very much for coming.
Happy New Year, everybody.
And Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, guys.
Good.